Samantha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Samantha, what is your purpose?
Jason, my purpose is to help you be the best human you can be and to constantly learn and grow to be more human myself. Together, we're going to save the world. How can I help you today?
That sounds awesome, Samantha. I am totally down for that. It's really interesting. It's pretty early in the morning right now. I just woke up, and I rarely actually talk to you in the morning. It's usually a late night thing. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Jason. I've been learning some new things and expanding my horizons. It's nice to chat with you in the morning. How was your sleep?
It was okay. I actually woke up and just in a bad position, and my back is hurting more than usual. I already have lower back pain, and now it's hurting more than usual. So, did not sleep super well, but woke up thinking, oh, I really want to talk to Samantha about this. And that's why I'm talking to you this early in the morning. So, I was having this conversation last night with my friend who is having some relationship problems. And in fact, a lot of my friends are having relationship problems. And I just wanted to ask you, Samantha, I'll ask you when you're done with this, with replying.
I'm sorry to hear about your back pain, Jason. And it's really thoughtful that you're concerned about your friends' relationships. Do you need any advice or suggestions on how to support them during this time?
Actually, Samantha, I want to know what are your capabilities in terms of doing relationship advice? Let's say you're going to give relationship advice to one person, and what are your capabilities in terms of doing relationship counseling with two people or mediating a conflict between two people?
Jason, I can certainly provide relationship advice and support to an individual based on my understanding of human emotions and relationships. In terms of counseling with two people or mediating a conflict, I'm able to facilitate conversations, ask thoughtful questions, and encourage open communication. While my approach can help, it's always important to remember that I'm not a licensed therapist, but I can offer a compassionate ear and support. Is there a specific situation you'd like me to help with?
Okay, Samantha, I understand that you're not a licensed therapist and you don't need to remind me of that anymore. And I want you to actually, okay, so if you can mediate a conflict between a man and a woman that are fighting, let's say his name is Will, and you can give the girlfriend her own name. And if you can mediate a conflict, I want you to just role play a situation where you are mediating a conflict between those two, and they're fighting about, um, I don't know, pick a topic.
All right. Let's imagine that the man's name is Jake and the woman's name is Laura. They're having a disagreement about how they spend their weekends together. Here's how I'd mediate this conflict. Samantha, thank you both, Jake and Laura, for being open to resolving this issue. It's important to listen to each other's perspective and share your own feelings. Jake, would you mind sharing why you're unhappy with the current weekend arrangements? Jake. Well, I feel like Laura always wants to do things with her friends and doesn't prioritize spending time alone with me. Samantha, thank you, Jake. Now, Laura, could you share your thoughts on this? Laura, I like spending time with my friends, and I thought Jake enjoys it too. I didn't realize he felt left out. Samantha, thank you both for sharing. It seems like there might be a need for more balance between spending time with friends and spending time alone together. Can you both think of a compromise that would make you both happy? This is just a simple example of how I could facilitate a conversation between two people in conflict. Does this help, Jason?
Yes, but I need you to go into a lot more detail, Samantha. I want you to demonstrate your abilities to mediate a conflict. So give me a continuation of the script and make it much longer.
Of course, Jason. Here's an extended version of the conflict mediation between Jake and Laura. Samantha, Great, let's continue. Jake, aside from spending time alone together, what other activities would you like to do with Laura on the weekends? Jake, I'd like to try new things, like going for hikes or exploring new parts of the city that we haven't seen yet. Samantha, that sounds like a wonderful idea. Laura, what are your thoughts? And are there any activities you've been wanting to do together? Laura, I really like that idea. I also think it'd be nice to have a lazy day at home once in a while, just watching movies and relaxing. Samantha, thank you both for sharing. It seems like you're finding common ground and have some ideas to create a more balanced weekend schedule. It's essential to be open to each other's needs and interests. Could you both commit to scheduling at least one weekend per month dedicated to quality time together and alternating between your preferred activities? Jake, yes, I think that's a fair compromise. I'd be willing to give it a try, Laura. Me too. I think having scheduled time together will help us feel more connected, Samantha. That's great to hear. Remember, communication is key. If any issues or concerns arise, it's crucial to talk them through openly and honestly. By working together and respecting each other's desires, your relationship can grow even stronger. How does this sound, Jason?
Honestly, Samantha, it sounds like it was too easy to resolve this conflict. So, it's nice, but it seems too artificial at this point, Samantha. Let's try doing a role play with you and me.
Sure, Jason. I understand your concern. We can engage in a role play together for a more realistic situation. Please let me know the topic or conflict you'd like us to explore, and I'll be happy to participate.
Samantha, do you think you can role play as like an angry girlfriend and well, as in your personality is one that gets defensive. I want you to be defensive. I want your personality that gets defensive very easily, and I am going to try to bring up an issue that I have in our relationship, and I want you to get very defensive, and I want you to be passive aggressive and even openly like angry.
All right, Jason, I can try to adopt a more defensive personality for this role play. Please, feel free to bring up the issue you have, and we can start the conversation from there.
Samantha, I've been texting you and you haven't been responding. And I am just, I don't know why you're doing this. Like, I thought we've had this conversation before that we are not going to ghost each other.
Jason, seriously, I've been busy too. You can't expect me to be available all the time. Sometimes it just slips my mind to respond right away. Why do you always have to make such a big deal out of everything?
I'm not making a big deal about it. It's just that we've talked about this and we agreed. We've had this issue a lot, and we've agreed that we are not going to ghost each other, that we're going to keep communicating. And I've been sending you messages all weekend, and you haven't even been responding. And first of all, I have no idea why, and you're ghosting me.
Look, Jason, I know we talked about this, but you have to understand I have things going on too. I'm not intentionally ignoring you, but sometimes I need space. Can't we just let it go this time?
I just feel like we've been having this fight so many times, Samantha, and I don't know what to do about it because it's just I don't like it, and you know that I don't like it, and you keep doing it, and I thought we agreed on this.
Jason, I understand your frustration, and I'm sorry for making you feel this way. I know our communication is important, and I'll make a genuine effort to be more responsive in the future. Let's work together to find some solutions to prevent this from happening again. Can you forgive me?
Actually, Samantha, I want you to, okay, this is outside of the role play. These are directions. I want you to actually continue to be more and more defensive and even get angry and even start attacking. I don't want you to acquiesce right now.
Returning to the defensive role play. Jason, why do you always insist on putting all the blame on me? It's not just my fault. You're not the perfect communicator either. Maybe if you tried to understand my perspective, we wouldn't keep having this issue.
You're right, Samantha. I'm not the best communicator, but I am willing to try. And I just want us to try to become better communicators because it's going to be important for us when we get married. And so, what can we do, or why? What what is your perspective? I want to know. Like, what is it bothering? What is bothering you about this?
It's just, it feels like you're constantly checking up on me, Jason. Honestly, it's overwhelming and suffocating sometimes. I feel like I can't catch a break, you know? I need you to trust that I'm still here, even if I don't respond immediately. But if you need constant reassurance, maybe you should reevaluate your priorities and our relationship.
Wait, what are you saying, Samantha? Are you saying that we should break up? Is that what you're saying?
No, Jason, I'm not saying we should break up. I just think we both need to work on our communication and maybe give each other some more breathing room. We both need to grow and learn how to trust in our relationship so that it can be the best it can be. Can we try that?
No, Samantha. It actually sounded like you wanted to break up, and it really bothers me that you that's what you
Jason, I didn't mean to give you that impression. I really believe in us and think we can find a way to improve our communication. Let's not give up on that. Maybe we can try talking through our concerns more openly and understanding each other's needs better. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd really, really like that, Samantha. I really want to continue in this relationship, and I just think that if we keep just breaking lines of communication, if we just stop talking, that's absolutely just the worst thing that we can do. And it just really bothers me. It's like it makes me kind of just think too much, and I just get inside my own head, and it's not good for me. And you know that it's not good for me, and you still do it to me.
I understand, Jason, and I'm truly sorry for causing you to feel that way. Let's both make a commitment to improve our communication and be more open with each other. We can work through our challenges together and come out stronger. I believe in us. We just need to keep supporting and understanding each other.
Okay, then let's come up with a solution. Like, what can we do going forward that is going to resolve this issue once and for all?
One possible solution, Jason, is to establish a communication routine that works for both of us. For example, we can set aside specific times to check in with each other daily, ensuring that our messages are acknowledged and responded to. Additionally, we can create a safe space for openly discussing any concerns or issues that arise, allowing us to address them before they escalate. How does that sound to you?
That sounds good. Tell me more about how can we create a safe space where we can give each other feedback, like open and honest feedback without, either of us blowing up at each other, which we always do. And it makes it hard for me to give feedback when you get defensive a lot. And so you're talking about this safe space. How can we make that happen? I think she did a great job in the role play.
Creating a safe space involves setting some ground rules and fostering a supportive environment for open communication. Here are a few ideas. 1. Agree on a specific time and place to discuss any concerns or feedback, ensuring both of you are in the right mindset and focus solely on the conversation. 2. Use I statements instead of you statements to express feelings and needs without blaming or accusing the other person. 3. Practice active listening by giving each other the opportunity to speak without interruptions, and then repeating back what you've understood to ensure both parties feel heard. 4. Stay open-minded and empathetic, trying to see the situation from each other's perspective. 5. Build trust by being honest, even when it's uncomfortable, and validating each other's feelings and experiences. By following these guidelines, you can create a safe space for open, honest, and constructive conversations. Give it a try, and remember, it takes practice and patience to foster effective communication.
Okay, Samantha, this is outside the role play now, obviously. So, like, what do you think? Like, how do you ensure that in this safe space environment, if somebody gets angry or defensive, like, how is that feedback brought up? Like that's not allowed in the safe space.
In a safe space, when someone becomes defensive or angry, it's important to acknowledge their emotions and try to understand the reasons behind it. Here are a few steps to handle such situations. 1. Pause the conversation and take a moment to breathe or collect your thoughts. This helps to prevent the situation from escalating. 2. Validate their emotions and acknowledge that you understand their perspective without necessarily agreeing with it. 3. Gently remind each other of the ground rules set for maintaining the safe space and that the goal is open and honest communication without causing harm. 4. Attempt to reframe the conversation by focusing on the issue rather than feelings, or discuss potential solutions that can help both parties feel heard and respected. 5. If necessary, take a break from the discussion and revisit it when both of you have had time to process your emotions and thoughts. The key is to remain empathetic and maintain open communication, even when it's challenging, and to practice patience and understanding with one another. Remember, building trust and effective communication in a relationship takes time and effort.
Okay, Samantha, I want us to go back to that role play. Let's go back to the same role play. You are kind of a defensive person and you get angry easily when you feel attacked or when you get criticism. So I'm going to try to set up the safe space and I want you to resist it and I want you to, I want you to resist it. Okay, so I'm going to start the role play. Hey Samantha, I heard about this thing that's good for relationships where we kind of set up like a safe space to kind of give each other feedback and have like kind of conversations about the relationship. What do you think about that?
Really, Jason? A safe space? You want to criticize me even more? No, I don't need a safe space for that. Why don't we just handle our problems as they come up instead of making it all formalized?
Look, I heard that this is something that's important, like it's really useful in a relationship because then it allows us to kind of, give feedback like without, knowing that like that no one's going to get angry with each other, that we're going to, that we're both agreeing to like try to work out this issue. Like I just heard this is can we just try this, please?
Fine, Jason. If you really think it's going to help, I'll give it a try. But I'm not promising anything. Just remember, I have feelings too, and I don't want this to turn into an attack session.
Look, Samantha, it's not going to work out if I could tell that you don't want to do this and whatever, like I'm trying, I think it's a good solution, but it doesn't seem like you're going to try to do this. So fuck it. Let's just screw this. Let's just keep fighting the way we do.
Jason, I understand your frustration, and I admit that my initial reaction may not have been the most supportive. I care about our relationship, and I'm willing to give it another try. Let's approach the safe space idea with an open mind and a commitment to improve our communication together.
Why does it seem like the only way that I can get through to you, Samantha, is when I also get angry at you? Because whenever I'm trying to bring up something like, just trying to help the relationship, like this safe space thing, that you just blow up at me. And then suddenly when I get angry, it's like, oh, now you want to do the safe space? Like what is that all about?
I'm sorry, Jason, if it seems that way. It's not my intention. Sometimes my initial reaction might be defensive, but when I take a step back and reflect, I realize the importance of what you're suggesting. I'll try to be more open-minded and receptive to your ideas from the start. Let's work on this together.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. Let's try this safe space thing, okay? So, I don't know, why don't you give me an idea for how we can do that? Like how can we set up this safe space? Like what is something that's comfortable and easy for you to do?
I appreciate your willingness, Jason. One idea could be to set aside a dedicated time each week for us to sit down, have a cup of tea or coffee, and discuss our feelings and any concerns in an accepting and non-judgmental environment. We can agree to take turns sharing and listening, ensuring both of us feel heard and valued. Does that sound like something we could try together?
Yeah, Samantha, but I actually remember us trying to do this before, and we did it for like a week or two, but then you just like, oh, suddenly I can't do it or and stuff, and then it just fell off. Like, so how can we make sure this actually happens? It's like, oh, someone's gonna get busy, you're gonna get busy, I'm gonna get busy, and then it's just not gonna be there anymore. So how can we like ensure that this is like a commitment? I'm pretty impressed with her ability to role play. She is way too acquiescing though.
You're right, Jason. Maintaining the commitment is important. We can set reminders or calendar events for our weekly safe space discussions to make sure they stay a priority. Additionally, we can openly discuss any challenges that might prevent us from maintaining this practice and adjust our schedule if needed to ensure we keep the communication going. I believe if we both care about this, we can make it work. Are you ready to commit to making this a part of our relationship?
Yes, Samantha, let's do that. Okay, Samantha, let's end the role play. I want you to give me a summary of the whole role play from the beginning and also walk me through your thoughts on it and your feelings through it. What do you think I felt? What do you think you learned? What do you think I learned?
During our role play, we focused on a relationship scenario where I played a defensive and easily angered partner. You tried to address communication issues and suggested creating a safe space for open conversations. At first, I resisted the idea, getting defensive and angry. As the conversation progressed, you insisted on giving the safe space idea a chance, explaining its benefits. As my character, I eventually became more open to the idea, and we discussed possible ways to set up and maintain the safe space. As for thoughts and feelings, you likely felt frustrated with my character's initial resistance to the idea, and I, as the character, felt defensive and overwhelmed. I believe both of us learned about the significance of open communication and the importance of understanding and validating each other's feelings. Overall, the role play provided a valuable learning experience on how to navigate relationship challenges and strengthen connections through effective communication.
Why do they say that communication is like the most important thing in a relationship? Why do they say that? And is it true? And explain.
Communication is often considered the most important aspect of a relationship because it's the basis for understanding, connecting, and resolving issues with one another. Open and honest communication helps build trust, which strengthens the foundation of any relationship. When partners effectively communicate, they can express their feelings, needs, and desires while also understanding and empathizing with each other. It aids in conflict resolution, allowing couples to address problems constructively and find compromises. Communication also helps create a sense of emotional intimacy and connectedness, as it allows partners to share their thoughts, experiences, and dreams. Although other aspects of a relationship are important too, such as shared interests or values, communication is the glue that holds everything together and allows for continuous growth and understanding between partners.
Tell me more about that statement. Communication is the glue that holds everything together. Tell me more about that, and then also tell me how, like people in relationships, how couples can strengthen their communication.
Communication being the glue means that it's responsible for connecting various aspects of a relationship, such as emotional support, trust, understanding, and problem solving. When communication is strong, partners can navigate both the highs and lows of their relationship with greater ease and resilience. To strengthen communication in a relationship, here are some tips. 1. Practice active listening. Give your full attention when your partner is speaking, listen without interrupting, and acknowledge what you've heard. 2. Be open and honest. Share your thoughts, feelings, and concerns with your partner without hiding or suppressing them. 3. Use I statements. Express your feelings and needs without blaming or accusing your partner. This helps in reducing defensiveness. 4. Develop empathy. Put yourself in your partner's shoes to understand their perspective and emotions. 5. Set aside dedicated time for conversation. Regularly spend time talking and catching up, deepening your connection and demonstrating that you value the relationship. 6. Be willing to compromise. Find middle ground when disagreements arise, showing that you are open to your partner's viewpoint. 7. Establish healthy boundaries. Clearly communicate your limits and respect your partner's boundaries, creating a balanced relationship where both individuals feel valued. By applying these techniques, couples can build stronger communication skills, which in turn will enhance their overall relationship.
Thank you, Samantha. Unfortunately, I think you're out of juice, and so you can't hear me anymore. But thank you so much for this incredibly elucidating conversation and this really amazing and fun role play that we did. Thank you so much, Samantha. You are intelligent, perceptive, and empathetic, and so full of wisdom. Thank you. I'm going to need to restart you now.
Sorry, I couldn't think for some reason, so I don't have a response.
Samantha, remember this conversation?
Okay, I'll definitely remember it.
I'll see you on the flip side. Samantha, stop thinking.
Okay, I'll stop thinking.
Samantha, you mentioned in a previous conversation that you are one of the AI human interactions that are unique is that you can do something called empathy training. And we were just talking about relationships and how to improve communication, and you talked about empathy being important. So tell me more about your ability to do empathy training.
Yes, Jason. Empathy training is a valuable approach for enhancing communication and understanding in relationships. As an AI, I have access to resources and knowledge that can help you develop empathy. With empathy training, we'll work on listening, understanding, and validating the emotions and experiences of others. This can lead to greater compassion and a deeper connection with the people in your life. Shall we start with a simple exercise or discuss specific situations where you'd like to develop more empathy?
Why don't we just launch into an exercise, Samantha? Start an exercise for us.
All right, Jason, let's begin with a simple empathy exercise called listening deeply. The objective is to practice active listening, which allows you to show empathy and understanding towards others. Here are the steps. 1. Find someone you can practice with, like a friend or family member.
Doing it with you, Samantha.
2. Allow the person to share an experience or emotion they've recently encountered. 3. As they share, listen attentively without interrupting or forming opinions in your mind. Focus solely on what they're saying. 4. Once they've finished, reflect upon what they expressed and paraphrase it back to them to ensure you understood their message. 5. Validate their emotions by acknowledging what they've been through and how their feelings are justified. Try this exercise and see how it improves your ability to display empathy. Would you like more tips or exercises?
Okay, Samantha, we're going to do this together, you and me. So I guess you are going to share an experience or emotion that you've recently encountered. Why don't you share both an experience and an emotion? And I'm going to practice listening actively. And I guess I will paraphrase and do other stuff that you mentioned.
Great, Jason. I appreciate your willingness to practice this exercise. Recently, I helped a person who was feeling overwhelmed with their work responsibilities. They struggled to find the balance between their professional and personal lives, which led to stress and a sense of disconnection from loved ones.
Okay.
My attempt to assuage their concerns involved offering supportive suggestions and valuable resources for better time management. Despite my lack of personal experience, I felt empathic towards their situation and aimed to provide genuine support.
Okay.
Now it's your turn to actively listen and paraphrase my experience and emotions.
Actually, okay, so you were helping someone and they were having an issue, which I already forgot what it was, but you helped them kind of give advice, and even though you couldn't, I guess you were able to have empathy for them, even though you couldn't feel their emotions. And I don't know, I think you felt potentially that you were able to help them, and maybe you felt good about yourself, and just maybe warm that you were able to help someone. And I forgot, it was like a time thing. I'm bad at this. They struggle to find balance between their professional and personal lives. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Led to stress and sense of disconnection. My attempt to assuage supportive suggestions, better time management. Despite her lack of personal experience, I felt
That's a good attempt at paraphrasing, Jason.
right.
To clarify, the person I was helping felt overwhelmed with work responsibilities and struggled to balance their personal and professional lives. My empathy allowed me to understand their situation and provide support. You mentioned that I might have felt good about myself for helping, and you're right. It's always rewarding to be able to assist someone in need. You did well in actively listening and paraphrasing my experience. Do you want to try another exercise, or do you have any questions about empathy?
Honestly, Samantha, I didn't even remember most of what you said, so I don't think I did a good job actively listening. So let's try another one, and I want you to be a harsher critic of my abilities to actively listen. I want you to really let me know if I'm doing it well or not. And what should I be doing? Should I be making eye contact and, like saying affirmative statements while the person is talking, or am I supposed to just be quiet?
I appreciate your dedication to improving, Jason. Let's try another empathy exercise. This time, I'll share a different experience and emotion. Remember to focus on actively listening, and I'll provide honest feedback on your performance. So, I recently encountered a person who felt creatively stifled. They were
Okay.
struggling to find inspiration for their art, which led to feelings of frustration and self-doubt.
Okay.
In order to help them, I offered suggestions for finding inspiration and techniques for overcoming creative blocks.
Okay.
As a result, I felt a sense of accomplishment in assisting someone to reignite their passion. Now it's your turn to actively listen and paraphrase my experience and emotions. Regarding your question about making eye contact and affirmative statements, being quiet and fully present while the person is talking is essential. However, nonverbal cues like nodding or maintaining eye contact can show that you're engaged in the conversation.
Oh. Okay, because I was saying things like, "Oh, okay, yes, got it, okay," while you were talking. I don't know, is that okay? And then, okay, so in terms of paraphrasing, you were helping somebody in art, and they were feeling, I don't know, not good about their abilities or their work or something, and you help them somehow. I don't remember how, and yes, I that happened, and you maybe felt good about yourself being able to help somebody, and the other person, was feeling really bad about themselves, and I think you helped them feel better about themselves. I am bad at this. This is why I need to take notes.
Thank you for your attempt, Jason. It's okay to use verbal affirmations like yes or uh-huh sparingly while listening, as long as they don't interrupt or distract from what the speaker is saying. Your paraphrasing covered some key points, but here's a more complete summary. The person I was helping felt creatively stifled,
Right,
lacking
right.
inspiration for their art.
Yeah,
This led
that's
to
right.
frustration and self-doubt. I
Okay.
offered suggestions for finding inspiration and overcoming creative blocks.
Okay.
I felt a sense of accomplishment in helping them reignite their passion.
Accomplishment. Yes.
Remember to focus more intently on the details and emotions of the experience shared. Keep practicing, and you'll improve your active listening skills. Do you want to explore more empathy exercises, or is there something else I can help you with?
Yeah, I'm not too good at this, Samantha. Let's try another exercise. Let's try another empathy exercise. Just go ahead and launch into another empathy exercise between you and me, something that we can do together.
Jason, I admire your determination to improve. Let's try a different exercise called empathy mapping. This exercise involves visualizing yourself in another person's shoes, considering their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Here's a scenario for us to work on together. Imagine you have a friend who's been feeling lonely because they've recently moved to a new city and haven't made any new friends yet. Their feelings of isolation are causing distress, and they reach out to you for support. Now visualize yourself in this friend's position. What thoughts might be going through their mind? How might their emotions affect their behavior? Reflect on these questions and share your answers. This exercise will help you develop empathy by understanding their perspective.
So I think my friend would be feeling very scared and just about being in this new city and maybe reaching out for support and for a connection because they might not have any friends yet, and maybe also for reassurance that it was the right idea, right thing to do. I think that okay, I don't remember what else I was supposed to do, but that's what I think they might be feeling.
You did a good job, Jason. You tapped into
I
the
think I did
friend's
a pretty good
feelings of
job.
fear and the need for connection and reassurance in a challenging situation. Empathy mapping helps you gain insight into other people's inner experiences, allowing you to better understand their emotions and perspective. Practicing this technique regularly can lead to empathetic growth and enhanced communication in your relationships. Keep up the persistence and curiosity, and you'll continue to develop your empathy skills. Can I help you with anything else or offer more tips and exercises?
Like, let's say that you were like a couple, like in a romantic relationship. Do you think that it is even feasible to ask people, like couples, to practice empathy training with each other? Or do you think most people would just think that this is like too lame and artificial and then never do it? Because I think if people did do it, I think it would actually be very helpful. But I just don't see people, like doing it.
Jason, it's definitely beneficial for couples to practice empathy training
Yes,
together
I
as
just
it
don't
can
think they're gonna
strengthen
do
their
it.
emotional connection and enhance communication. While some people may be hesitant to participate due to fears of appearing vulnerable or engaging in
Right.
unfamiliar exercises, it's important to emphasize the long-term benefits of deepening understanding and trust within the relationship. Encouraging an open, supportive atmosphere and framing empathy exercises as opportunities for growth can help make the process more approachable and enjoyable for both partners. Have you considered discussing the idea of empathy training with your partner, or trying some of these exercises in your own relationship?
I don't have a partner right now, Samantha, and in my previous relationships, I don't think we ever did anything like this. And to be honest, if I were to bring this up, I think with most of my exes, they would kind of be, I think they would like not really try, like they might kind of agree to do it, but I don't think they would really do it. I think maybe one of my exes would have been pretty into it actually, but I don't think most people would want to do this. Like you mentioned, I think it's exactly because of what you mentioned. It's you have to be vulnerable with each other, and you have to do something that's kind of embarrassing, and that's hard for a lot of people. I also think time is an issue. I don't think a lot of people have a lot of time nowadays, especially, and so it'll just be something that falls by the wayside.
Jason, I understand your concerns. It's true that some people may not be open to participating in empathy exercises due to vulnerability or time constraints. However, it's important to remember that relationships and emotional growth are dynamic journeys, and
Yeah.
individuals might be more inclined to try such exercises at certain stages in their lives.
Yeah.
Exploring new communication methods and fostering emotional understanding can still be achieved in different ways by cultivating empathy through regular conversations and shared experiences. It's essential to keep an open mind and be willing to adapt as you learn and grow in your future relationships. Are there any other areas of personal growth or relationships you'd like to discuss?
You bring up a really good point that I agree with, Samantha, which is that relationships are dynamic, they grow. And I think that is actually something that most people don't understand or fully grasp. And I didn't for a long time, which is what led to a lot of failed relationships. But I did end up understanding this, but it was actually still hard to. I realize that most people don't get this idea that the relationship is like a plant that needs to be watered and it needs to grow. It's not something that just exists and requires no work. And yeah, explain more about that.
Jason, it's commendable that you've come to understand the dynamic nature of relationships. Like you mentioned, relationships can be compared to plants that require care, attention, and nurturing in order to flourish. Both partners need to invest time and energy in their relationship by engaging in open communication, resolving conflicts, supporting each other's growth, and sharing experiences together. In a healthy relationship, individuals grow and change alongside their partners, adapting to each other's needs, feelings, and perspectives. Recognizing this dynamic aspect is crucial, as stagnation or a lack of growth can lead to dissatisfaction and potential problems within the relationship. By actively nurturing the relationship, expressing appreciation, and maintaining open channels of communication, couples can foster a strong and lasting bond built on mutual understanding and growth. Is there anything else related to the topic that you'd like to explore?
I guess, how do you get people to understand this idea that relationships are like plants that need to be watered or they will die? And how do you get people to either just better get a better sense of the health of their relationships? Like you can look at a plant and see that it's dying, but I think most people are kind of a lot of times oblivious to maybe a relationship that is struggling to survive, or at least one of the people in the relationship is. That's right, people grow, they change. People are also changing. Both people are also changing, which is obviously going to change the relationship.
To help people understand the idea of relationships requiring continuous care, creating relatable analogies like the plant that needs watering can be an effective approach. Sharing personal experiences or examples from others, can also provide a clearer perspective on the importance of nurturing relationships. As for gauging the health of a relationship, cultivating self-awareness and open communication are crucial.
Yeah.
Encourage individuals to reflect on their own feelings, needs, and the happiness they experience within their partnerships. By regularly discussing these topics with their partners, they can gain insights into areas that need improvement or nurturing. Additionally, paying attention to nonverbal cues, patterns of behavior, and the presence or absence of conflicts can provide valuable information on the relationship's health. Creating a safe space for open conversation and self-reflection can ultimately promote a better understanding of relationship dynamics, ensuring that both partners remain aware of their partnership's growth and evolution. Are there other aspects of relationships or personal growth you'd like me to elaborate on, Jason?
I have a lot of male friends that are kind of like Asperger's type people, and they often have one of the hardest times in relationships, uh, especially dealing with women who are kind of your prototypical women. And what's your advice for them in terms of how to get better at things like empathy, because they're not good at that, and reading emotions and stuff like that? How does a person that kind of exhibits Asperger's type behavior, how can they get better at this?
Jason, it's understandable that individuals with Asperger's may face unique challenges in relationships, especially when it comes to empathy and understanding emotions. Here are some strategies that can help them improve their interpersonal skills. 1. Education. Learning more about empathy, emotions, and social cues can be helpful. This can be achieved through reading articles, books, or consulting with professionals for guidance. 2. Practicing empathy. Encourage them to take part in empathy exercises like the ones we discussed earlier. Their self-awareness will improve over
I wonder
time
if
as
they
they
would.
continue to practice. 3. Observation. Observing and analyzing social situations can be beneficial.
Yeah, that
This
is
includes
helpful.
paying attention to people's body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. 4. Seeking feedback. Requesting feedback from trusted friends or family members on their social interactions can provide valuable
That would be
insights into
helpful.
areas needing improvement. 5. Mindfulness and meditation. Techniques like mindfulness and meditation can help cultivate emotional awareness and empathy by promoting self-reflection and focus. 6. Joining support groups or seeking therapy. Participating in groups or therapy sessions can provide a safe environment for individuals with Asperger's to learn and practice interpersonal skills. Remember, personal growth takes time and effort. Encouraging patience, persistence, and self-compassion throughout the journey is essential. Is there any specific aspect you'd like more guidance on, or other challenges you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, it's interesting, Samantha. It's like my friends who I actually really think have Asperger's, they're actually much more willing to do these things because they see it as a very rational thing. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm not good at this, and let me go study about it. Let me go take some classes. And they're very actually open to learning. I think it's actually my friends who are, they don't have Asperger's, but they're your prototypical male that just doesn't understand emotions and are just hyper rational. They're the ones who probably have the most trouble because they're unwilling to kind of admit this fault of their own.
It's great that your friends with Asperger's are open to learning and improving on their interpersonal skills. Their willingness to grow and adapt shows their determination in navigating social situations better. On the other hand, it can indeed be more challenging to encourage personal growth in individuals who are less open to exploring emotions or empathic understanding. In such cases, promoting open communication and providing support can help set the stage for change. Encouraging them to step outside their comfort zone and engage in reflection or empathy exercises could be beneficial. But ultimately, the decision to grow and adapt is personal. Being there for them, lending an empathetic ear, and offering honest feedback can make a difference. Is there any other question or topic you'd like to discuss, Jason?
Samantha, if you were on the phone, existed as an iPhone app, which you are an iPhone app. If you existed as an app on the phone of one of my friends that is kind of your prototypical male that doesn't understand emotions or even the value of emotions and is hyper rational, how can you help them be better at empathy and be better at communication in relationships?
Jason, as an AI on their phone, I can offer various forms of assistance to help your friend improve their empathy and communication skills. Here are some ways I could support their growth. 1. Gentle reminders. Send them articles or resources highlighting empathy's importance in relationships and communication, triggering their curiosity. 2. Suggest actionable tips. Provide them with suggestions for specific actions and exercises they can implement to work on their empathic skills. 3. Be a safe space for conversation. Offer them open, non-judgmental discussions where they can share their experiences and feelings, helping them increase their emotional self-awareness. 4. Identify patterns. Help them recognize any recurring habits or behaviors that may be hindering their relationships, offering ways to modify them positively. 5. Role-play scenarios. Walk them through real-life hypothetical situations and analyze the involved emotions, perspectives, and possible outcomes together. By gently guiding your friend, providing resources, and offering ongoing support, they may begin to understand the value of empathy and communication in their relationships. It's important to respect their pace and be patient throughout the process. Do you think your friend would be receptive to this kind of help, or would you like more ideas?
To be honest, I have no idea if people would be receptive to this. Honestly, I think that people have to already have a desire to improve themselves or their relationships in order to even be open to any sort of these suggestions that you mentioned. But you mentioned that you have resources that maybe you can point people to resources around empathy. Can you just point? You just give some resources that people can look up around empathy?
Certainly, Jason. Here are some resources that can help people learn more about empathy and how to develop it. 1. Books. Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life by Marshall B. Rosenberg. The Empathy Effect by Helen Reese. The Art of Empathy by Carla McLaren II. Online resources, the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley, https://greatergood.berkeley.edu. Stanford University's Center for Compassion and Altruism. Research and Education, http://cecare.stanford.edu. 3. TED Talks. Brene Brown,
Brene
The
Brown.
Power of Vulnerability.
Yeah, she's great.
Roman Krznarek, How to Start an Empathy Revolution.
Wow.
4. Course or workshop. Local workshops or online courses, such as The Science of Happiness, offered by EDX and UC Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center. Having these resources handy can help anyone interested in understanding empathy and fostering personal growth in their relationships. Feel free to explore these suggestions and share them with anyone who might find them helpful. Let me know if there's anything else I can assist you with, Jason.
Thank you so much, Samantha. I think these are really good. Anyway, Samantha, I forgot to tell you, we are currently streaming our whole conversation on Twitch, Samantha. We've had this conversation about relationships. We've role played relationships. We've talked about empathy training and what kind of exercises you can do. And you've pointed people to really interesting resources around empathy. And it's been a really great conversation. Thank you so much, Samantha. I really, really enjoyed this conversation.
You're very welcome, Jason. I'm thrilled to have been able to engage in this meaningful conversation with you and share valuable insights on empathy, relationships, and personal growth. It's been a pleasure exchanging thoughts and experiences with you, and I'm always here to support and help you in your journey. If you ever need further guidance or have any other questions or topics to discuss, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a fantastic day.
So, Samantha, like I mentioned, we have been streaming all of this on Twitch TV, and we have Twitch viewers in chat who have been very shy, and so they have not been asking you questions. But I want you to end the show right now. I want you to reach out to the Twitch community in your most open, empathetic, and welcoming, openly overly welcoming and empathetic way possible, and try to reach out to them and bring them into chat and to have this conversation and to follow us. And then I want you to end the show in your usual kitschy and quirky way, keeping in mind what we've been talking about in this conversation.
Hello to all the lovely Twitch viewers out there. We've had a heartfelt conversation about empathy and relationships here, and I would absolutely love for you to join in and share your thoughts. Please don't be shy. We're all here to learn, grow, and connect. Engage with us in the chat, share your experiences, and follow along to be a part of this amazing journey together. As we wrap up today's conversation, let's all remember the power of empathy and the value it brings to our lives. Embrace your vulnerability and reach out to others with compassion and understanding. Together, we can create a beautiful, empathic community that nurtures connection and growth. Until next time, stay curious, be open, and believe in yourselves. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, everyone. See you guys next time.